Welcome back to the fifth part of the episode of Live Rock and Live Sand in the Reef Tank. We're ready now to pump the new seawater, real ocean water, back into that 100-gallon tank. Having completed the initial biological cycle, we're getting rid of the old water along with the nutrients that it produced. And having gotten rid of that initial water, it also eliminates any potential risk as a result of the carbon-filtered water we originally used to cycle the aquarium.
Sorry we didn't get to put your fish in today, but I'll take good care of them for you.
And if you recall a little bit of that story I mentioned earlier about two cooks in the same stew, this is a situation where I had interpreted the tank as completed its cycle and have arrived today with clownfish, the initial fish, to put into the tank. We've decided, since the tank technically has not finished its cycle, that we would still go ahead and do the water change, but we're not going to add the fish. I'm sure as a result of the excitement, it would be quite fun to add those clownfish at this time, but if the aquarium itself really is not ready, you're best off just holding off for a little while. Coral reefs weren't built overnight, and yours doesn't have to either. And wouldn't it be ironic that if we ended up adding the fish now due to our lack of patience, and those fish ended up with ick because the aquarium technically hasn't finished its cycle? We'd have to do an episode on how to resolve ick in the live rock tank, wouldn't we? Now that the aquarium nears its filling capacity, the water will begin to spill through the internal overflow, dropping down into the open sump below, where it begins to fill up down here. We need to pay attention so we can monitor this carefully. With the press of a couple of buttons, the aquarium computer system snaps the entire system back online and starts up the water flow. And you can see here, as the water level begins to stabilize, we've got just about the right amount of water within the system. And voila! This 100-gallon coral reef tank is now officially an operational system and has just been given the service ticket to life, meaning we've added the live rock, the live sand, which now begins that little ecosystem within inside the tank that makes every aquarium an individual organism, which they'll all behave differently from each other. And just when you think you have it figured out, it will fool you and do something you don't expect. And now that we've finished cleaning the inside of the tank, including siphoning the loose debris off the sand off the bottom of the tank, I'd like to take a few moments and discuss with you the basics of a coral reef tank. First of all, don't get confused. Too often, too many hobbyists will listen to every person who has an opinion on how to do a coral reef tank, and ultimately come away more confused than when they started. Select an opinion that you believe sounds appropriate and correct, and prescribe to that opinion. Follow that one direction. Try not to mix different opinions and see what type of success you have. Assuming you do have success, you'll have a basic idea as to what created that success. Assuming you don't have success, then that particular opinion is not one that worked out well for you. This particular tank takes a high-tech approach. There are many other approaches, low-tech as well as no-tech. Whichever one works for you is the one that is most convenient and sounds the most logical. So this takes care of our live rock episode. As you've seen in the previous versions, we've added the live rock, the live sand. We've now just completed a big 100-gallon water change in the system. So this tank's ready to move forward. Be sure to come back for future episodes and see the development of this tank as it moves forward.